Today, I want to show you how I turn inspiration into tangible work, like drawings, designs, and truly unique ideas for my portfolio. And the thing is that they don't come from Pinterest, which is why they are so rare and exclusively yours, and no one on this earth can copy or steal them, because all of those ideas, they come from real and everyday moments that can't be found anywhere else. So in this video, I'll walk you through my entire creative process of recycling all inspiration sources, and there'll be 5 in total, into your own projects. It's the exact method I personally use to avoid getting lost in a sea of screenshots on my phone and all of those forgotten phone pictures, you know, the ones you scroll through and wonder, why did I even take this or that photo? I'll also show you how I structure inspiration so that it's easy to access later when I'm actually working on something and not just hoarding ideas I'll never use. And my name is Anna. I draw, design, and I'm on a mission to make art feel like our everyday language anyone can tap into. And besides, I want to show you all of the endless possibilities that open up when you shift your mindset around creativity and get rid of all of those myths such as only talented and special people can become successful in a creative field or any other field, because I'm currently in the middle of rebuilding my own career. I'm expanding beyond the interior sketching niche I built over almost 10 years. So we're in this together, and let's get started. Sky and the ground meet. What kind of inspiration actually exists? Let's start with photos that have truly personal stories behind them. So in my case, a very strong source of inspiration comes from these flower photos my mom sends me from her garden. The thing is that we live in different countries, and this has become our creative ritual, so to speak. And every time she and my dad go to their country house, she takes these photos, sends them to me, and I create drawings from them, which I then turn into fine art prints. And by the way, this is how my very first fine art print collection was born. All of these drawings also hang in my kitchen, and they remind me of my family as if there were no distance between us at all. And also, these sketches, these prints inspire me to be bold and remind me of the importance of never forgetting that no one else is me and this is my power. Yes, of course, you can shop the entire fine art print collection just below this video and add a truly personal touch to your own home. And then from photos, you can actually create so many other things, like art collections as I have, then let's say color schemes for your interior, why not? Or even physical products like, I don't know, tablecloths or patterns or something like that, you know, just an idea. All right, next, let's talk about another source of inspiration, traveling. I love taking my iPad mini with me and sketching on the spot. The idea for this was basically born when I first saw digital drawings by my all-time favorite artist, David Hockney, and how he illustrates mountains, countryside, like nature in general, also on his iPad. And the idea of this technique is to capture the mood of the current moment without focusing on any details, because look, here we're not trying to illustrate the landscape in the most realistic way possible. Here the idea is to open up your inner world, be bold, and simply let your hand create, you know, without analysis paralysis. This is how we come up with truly brilliant ideas and compositions we didn't even know we had in mind. And what's important here is to not take photos and only then start drawing once we're back home, because that's when we're talking about the first approach, right? Here, by the way, I have an example for you. Literally yesterday, I went on my weekly mountain trip and sketched this gorgeous view on my iPad. Just look at it. I'm going to insert the original sketch somewhere here on the screen. Once I'm done filming this video, by the way, I also want to edit a short reel about the creation process of this particular drawing, and then I'll definitely share it on my Instagram. I am at @andshedrawsbig there. When it comes to drawing on the iPad while traveling, I try to imitate real materials. I draw with digital markers, digital watercolors, digital gouaches, so that my digital drawing looks like a real drawing, so to speak, with all of those, you know, authentic strokes. This is certainly one of the biggest advantages when it comes to digital drawing, right? We don't need to carry around 200 plus pencils with us, or we don't have to worry about making the wrong line, you know? Like, can you tell that I'm super passionate about this topic? And I love merging all of those traditional art techniques with the power that modern tools like iPad and AI have to offer. But this is a topic for another video. Now let's talk about the next approach. All right, from this moment on, you won't just watch Netflix for the sake of it, okay? You'll actually start noticing composition, compositions, colors, and even fabrics. It's not only about Netflix, so that you know. When watching YouTube videos, short-form content, like any of these things, make sure to pay attention to all of that, okay? And since you love real-life examples, here we go. Here's a scene from Ginny and Georgia, and here's the final result. I created this floral drawing after falling in love with the original bouquet from the series. Here's indeed a real-life example on how you can turn inspiration into tangible project, because now this painting is also part of my fine art print collection. And another example comes from Owning Manhattan, also on Netflix. Two examples, in fact. I was really inspired by one of their interiors and decided to create an interior mood board. However, I designed it on my own since I couldn't really find the exact furniture from the series. Now on to the second example. When a real estate agent was showing a listing to her clients and she was trying to communicate her design idea, her design vision with her hands, I was literally screaming from my sofa, like, girl, you should have taken your iPad with you, because when you have your iPad, you can literally show your vision as if that vision was in reality. You can test colors, you can sketch your ideas on the go, you can, I don't know, test some furniture placements, and now together, paired with AI, you can create stunning realistic renders literally in seconds. And yes, I already filmed a separate video on this topic on this channel. Make sure to check it out. I'm going to link it somewhere here on the screen, or simply make sure to check out my YouTube channel. And now we're going to move on to the next inspiration source, which is magazines. Oh yes, this one has been at the top for me since, I don't know, 2017 or something like that. This is the #1 resource for my interior design work, because not only do I find really beautiful concepts there, but I also have access to really amazing design brands that in real life I wouldn't be able to find, that's for sure. And I've already designed hundreds of ideas inspired by my favorite design magazines, such as mood boards, interiors, and even still life compositions. And that brings me to a very important topic of our today's video. How do we actually structure our ideas to avoid getting lost in them? Now it's time to share my signature framework and how I structure my inspiration sources so that I have direct access to them. I work with folders. First of all, I have one main folder on my desktop, not inside the photo gallery, super important, on my desktop inside iCloud. And that folder is called Inspiration for My Work, as boring as it sounds. But there inside, I have smaller folders. And I have, let's say, folders for abstract patterns. I have a folder for rugs. I have a folder for living room ideas. I have a folder for my mountain compositions. Then I have a folder for my floral compositions. So the idea is to structure your inspiration sources in a way so that you can directly access them, because you know where to find everything. And here's a super important thing to keep in mind. It requires discipline. It's not like, okay, you're currently traveling and you're seeing so many beautiful ideas, or, you know, whatever you're seeing there, and then you take 1,000 plus pictures, and then, okay, once I'm back home or once I have more time, I'm going to structure them. No, this isn't going to work. You're going to want to add those pictures to your folders right after taking those pictures, and after that you can even delete them. We rarely revisit our pictures we've taken, you know, throughout our lives. And if we do so, it's a bit of a challenge to find the necessary ones, and it definitely requires a lot of time. I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then sum up all of those minutes in a week or something like that. And this approach, like when you work with your folders on your desktop, allows you to save all of that time, so that again you have that direct access to your inspiration sources, and then you just feel yourself better. And when you're stuck, when you don't have motivation, or when you don't have time to search for ideas, I don't know, on Pinterest, or when you don't have time to generate ideas with AI and all of these things. And yes, I do work with AI. I've already filmed a couple of lessons, a couple of videos for my channel. Make sure to check them out. And when you have that direct access, when everything is clean, you just, you know, feel yourself better. And you know, okay, when I need to work on this or that project, I can simply open this or that folder, and here we go. The idea is being born with that. Super helpful. Totally recommend this approach. And last but not least, we have events, we have exhibitions and conferences and how to make the most out of them. So let's go. But first, a question for you. Can you relate to that? You're currently attending a truly spectacular event, and out of the blue, you have a flash of a truly brilliant idea for your work, but you decide to not do anything about it. You decide to not write it down because you're kind of in the middle of something and nothing's gonna happen to it in case you decide to get back to it, I don't know, in a few minutes or something like that. The idea is gone in those few minutes. It disappeared as quickly as it appeared in your mind. You can't remember what was that idea all about. You just remember the feeling and wanting to explore it further once you're done with the thing you were doing. Of course, you regret not writing it down. I've been there. You can even imagine how many ideas I've lost because I was lazy. This is why you need this. This is a small sketchbook, which is going to be a treasure trove for your ideas. You're gonna want to carry it around with you wherever you go, whether you are traveling, whether you are on a plane, I don't know, whether you're having dinner somewhere, or whether you're simply taking a short walk. So this sketchbook is always with me, and this sketchbook is more for my content creation ideas. What I really like about this approach is that all of those ideas are so effortless and natural. Instead of just sitting at home and trying to come up with all of those useful and brilliant, I don't know, concepts or something like that for your work, this is something that is going to save you so much time and it will just feel right. Here, I also wanted to add something. We all want to expand our horizons. We want to reach a new level in our lives and all of these things. And how are we going to want to do that? By putting ourselves out there. Exactly. We can't expect all of those concepts and insights just by sitting at home in front of our computers, staring at the screen and hoping that that inspiration is going to come now. Now, we need to take action first. But here I want to remind you of the importance of working on that idea actually, because I'm sure you've experienced something like that. You've attended a few events. In the moment, it was awesome. You could relate to a lot of things, but a few weeks later, you didn't really remember what was all about, right? Like it was great, it was cool, but then it's time to take another workshop, it's time to work with another coach. You start being part of that never-ending cycle of learning from one expert to another expert. You kind of feel like there is no improvement at all because nothing seems to be working. First, you need to actually put into action the thing that you already know. And this is why after each of those conferences, after each of those events, you need to implement the stuff in the next 24 hours max. Otherwise, all of the knowledge will be forgotten and there will be no output from that. And this is why this is gonna be your first step. Your logical question might probably be the following: why don't we simply use our phones? Our phones are our biggest distractions. And let's say you decided to write something down there, right, in the notes app, and then a notification pops up, you decided to open it, you decided to answer it, and then you don't even remember why you decided to turn your phone on, and let alone, of course, you forgot your idea completely. Basically, this is why we also keep all of our inspiration sources separate inside all of those folders. Remember to avoid noise from the photo gallery with all of those endless photos. The same story here. When you keep everything clean, so to speak, your brain isn't overwhelmed by so many tasks. This kind of exercise helps you get unstuck when you need to come up with the final idea, let's say for content creation, as in my case. This particular sketchbook, by the way, has been my dream generator. I bought it 11 years ago before I decided to pursue my big dream of getting my German citizenship completely from scratch without any language knowledge. Well, back then. And here I was writing down all of the ideas, all of the quotes I was able to find back then, all of the aspirational notes and where I wanted to study, where I wanted to work, what I wanted to earn. And I still write things down. I literally have a few pages left here. Keeping the sketchbook allowed me to bring my wildest dreams to life because I kept everything inside one sketchbook. Not a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, but all in one. The same for content creation. And with all that being said, I'd like to finish this video, sadly. And I want to remind you that we create opportunities by putting ourselves out there and bringing our ideas to life without waiting for perfection. Super important. See you in the next video and thank you so much for watching.